the end of the day, and I can say this, and this is not an excuse, my son never indulged in drugs around me. You got to realize I'm his dad, bro. And I was a disciplinarian. I was strict, structured. So certain things I didn't see. I never saw Quan pop a pill in front of me.
But they're saying it's over an overdose. That's some fake ass pills, bro. 9 times out of 10, it's probably them fake ass pills. Like, I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but it's too fucking dangerous to get anything off the streets.
Rich homie Quan has been gone for nearly 2 years. Yet the questions around his death refused to fade. The official overdose explanation never fully added up for many people. And now there's growing talk that the last people who saw him alive may know more than they shared. Online, fans believe key details were overlooked or quietly ignored. Let's rewind to that morning. On September 5, 2024, Quan passed away at just 34 years old. Reports say his brother Andre found him around 3 a.m. Quan was on the kitchen floor with food still in his mouth, not breathing. Instead of calling for help or checking for a pulse, Andre said he picked him up and moved him to the couch. There was no emergency call and no sense of urgency. Hours later, around 6:45 a.m., Quan's children's mother, Amber, woke up, took the kids to school, then returned home. She saw Quan on the couch, cold and foaming at the mouth, and finally called 911. When that call became public, many people questioned her calm tone. Combined with Andre's silence earlier, it left the internet wondering what really happened that night.
Sleep on the couch since this morning. Well, he never came to bed last night. Sleep on the couch. I left him on the couch before I took my son to school this morning, put a blanket over him. And I just checked on him again because he never got up. I don't feel a heartbeat. I don't see him breathing.
That's when people started asking the hard questions nobody wanted to touch. Did they know more than they admitted? Was this situation ignored on purpose, or even allowed to happen? Social media lit up fast. One person said it made no sense that Quan hadn't been in bed all night and no one checked on him. Another pointed out how calm the 911 call sounded, saying it didn't feel like panic at all. Then the rumors got darker. People began claiming that Andre and Amber weren't just roommates, but were allegedly getting way too close while Quan was still alive. After Quan passed, Andre's actions only raised more eyebrows. Folks noticed him wearing Quan's clothes, posting laughing emojis, and acting like he stepped into a new lifestyle overnight. There were even claims he shared obituaries for money and contacted major artists for opportunities days after the death. To make things worse, Hurricane Chris spoke up. He didn't offer proof, but he openly said the story felt off, like someone wasn't telling the full truth about that morning.
But they're saying it's over an overdose. That's some fake ass pills, bro. 9 times out of 10, it's probably them fake ass pills. Like, I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but it's too dangerous to get anything off the street. You gambling with your life when you swallow that pill that you got from your homeboy. Even if he said he got it from the doctor, like, don't believe it. If you didn't go to a doctor and get that as your medication, don't take it. Even if somebody's selling it to you, got the pill bottle. There could be an old pill bottle they had, and they putting new fake pills in it. Like, this a dangerous game if you out here taking drugs. You gotta really, like, pay attention.
And once someone in the industry like Hurricane Chris started speaking out, it opened the door for people to dig deeper. That's when the whole pills story started getting questioned again. Initially, the public was told Quan's death was an overdose, a dangerous mix of fentanyl, codeine, promethazine, and THC. Standard tragic rapper narrative. But those close to him weren't buying it, especially his father. Months later, Quan's dad spoke out, still visibly shaken and trying to process it. He said the official story didn't match the son he knew. Quan wasn't addicted to pills. Sure, he drank and smoked, but the idea that he took a deadly cocktail like that just didn't fit with his habits or his lifestyle. People started realizing the story might have been more complicated than anyone was letting on. Suspicion was growing that someone wasn't telling the full truth about what really happened that morning.
Today, and I can say this, and this is not an excuse, my son never indulged in drugs around me. You got to realize I'm his dad, bro. And I was a disciplinarian. I was strict, structured. So certain things I didn't see. I never saw Quan pop a pill in front of me. I saw him smoke weed. I saw him drink liquor. But certain things I never saw him do. But in my mind, I knew when he was higher than normal. And I would address it with him. I used to tell him like, hey man, whatever you going through in life, your ass ain't in a pill bottle or liquor bottle, man. I used to tell him that.
This wasn't just a dad struggling to accept the truth. Quan's father knew his son inside and out. They talked every day, were close, and shared a friendship that went beyond a typical father-son bond. Their connection was real and deep, built on trust and daily conversations. For Quan's dad, this was everything. He had never experienced that kind of relationship with a father himself. Losing Quan wasn't just losing a child. It was losing a friend, a confidant, and someone who made his life whole in ways he had never known before. That closeness made the official story even harder to accept and fueled the suspicion that something about that morning didn't add up.
This chair I'm sitting there alone, I don't wish this on nobody, man. Like, I honestly, I envision my son getting older and pulling up, kicking it with me on some grown man shit, bro. You feel me? Yeah. Like, I wanted to have them time, man, while I was old and we just kicked it and we talked about what we did.
When Quan's father heard what officials claimed caused his son's death, it didn't feel right to him. Something in his gut told him the story was off. Then the toxicology report came back, and people noticed how quickly it was released. There was no long wait, no confusion, no back and forth. It was wrapped up fast, which raised eyebrows because those reports usually take time, especially when a well-known artist is involved. When you add that to the calm 911 call, Andre's strange behavior, and rumors about Andre and Amber being too close, the questions only grow louder. Then there's another name that keeps coming up, Kia Brown. She wasn't family and wasn't publicly connected, but she was reportedly in the house that morning. People say her answers to police felt nervous and unclear. Some even claim she tried to leave shortly after, which only deepened the suspicion that not everything has been told.
I'm just friends with one of the people that stay in the house.
Name?
Quick.
Quick. So you Quick's friend?
Correct.
Okay. And you don't remember what time you arrived?
No. I have no idea what has transpired before or after. I was just in the room.
Quan's story didn't just stay inside the house, it spilled into the streets. Kia Brown never became the headline, but her name kept coming up in conversations. Too many people were in that house that morning, too many vague explanations, and too much time passed before anyone called for help. That alone made folks suspicious. Quan wasn't just another rapper struggling to make it. He was building his life, gaining respect, and had real value in the industry. And in that world, value often attracts enemies. At first, some tried to pin it on Young Thug, thinking Quan's plans to separate from certain circles or testify might have threatened him. But those close to Thug said he truly respected Quan, and was genuinely upset when the news dropped. The focus then shifted. Quan was likely trying to distance himself from dangerous people, quietly stepping away. In this business, that's risky. Standing apart, refusing to play along. It can put you in real danger, as Lil Woody warned.
So what's your thoughts on Rich Homie Quan passing? Yeah.
It's sad, man. It's sad. Rich Homie had a lot of potential. You feel me? Like, he just made wrong choices in the past. What could have that hurt his career. And he didn't have to make that choice. But sometimes people gotta learn how to stand up for themselves. Don't be intimidated by no group of people. Cause them group of people, man, they ain't know nothing for real.
Birdman's name started popping up again, too. He's a big player in the industry, the one who initially linked Quan and Young Thug. Quan had dropped hints about him before, never outright naming names, but people on the streets began connecting the dots. Rumors swirled that Birdman's influence and the circles he ran might have had more to do with what happened than anyone wanted to admit. In a world where power, money, and loyalty collide, even quiet hints can spark huge speculation. And Birdman's name carried enough weight to make everyone pause and wonder,
That during that time period, you and Thug were really like close friends, or was it just like a convenient musical relationship and Birdman was really the thing that was keeping y'all together?
No, that was my dog. That was my dog.
Right.
Definitely my dog. It was Birdman wasn't keeping me together. I met Bird through Thug.
Right.
I wouldn't have met Bird if it wasn't for Thug. You know what I mean?
Right.
Word on the streets is that Birdman might have played a role when Quan and Thug's bond started getting too strong, too independent, too unpredictable. People have long said Birdman doesn't like artists gaining power without his control. When someone starts moving beyond his influence, tensions rise. Now, nobody is claiming Birdman pulled a trigger or poisoned anyone, but in the music world, power often works quietly, through influence, access, pressure, or keeping things hidden. Looking at Quan's death through that lens, the idea of an inside job suddenly starts to make sense. Amid all the chaos and speculation, DC Young Fly stepped in differently. He'd known Quan and his family for decades, way before the industry spotlight. At Quan's funeral, DC didn't add fuel to the fire or entertain gossip. He kept it real, spoke from the heart, and honored Quan's life instead of fueling rumors, showing a rare moment of peace in a storm of questions.
Mama, I call you mama. We been introduced since 2003. Big bro, so, it's real family. Corey, what going on?
He reminded the family that life has to go on, no matter how confusing or painful things feel. Even though the autopsy left questions unanswered and the truth seemed out of reach, he told them that time is short for all of us. We're only here for a moment, just passing through, and what really matters is how we live, the choices we make, and the impact we leave behind while we're here.
But how you move, Emma, is how we supposed to move during these times. Because all the morals and the doctrines, this is the only time that we really apply it. When we hurt Job, everybody go read the book of Job. Just read the book of Job. He took everything from Job. He kept snatching everything from Job. And Job, like every Christian that, everybody like, I put so much good into the world. Why so much bad coming to me? He like, what? I ain't really been bad to nobody. I just want to talk to him. I want to ask him why. Why he doing this to me? God looked at him and said, who you talking to? Why not you? This is the time for you to praise my name. This is the time for you to tell the other people through the midst of pain, I'm the one that's giving you the strength, fool. So when people think you crazy, Mom, you ain't crazy. You being obedient.
It was real, steady, and full of heart. That's what made everything else feel even more disturbing. While DC Young Fly was focused on helping a grieving family find peace, others were busy trying to explain actions that just didn't add up. And that's where the confusion deepens. Now there are too many unanswered pieces. A brother who found Quan first, but didn't call for help. A baby mother whose calm voice raised red flags. A woman in the house whose role is still unclear. A father who openly doubts the official cause of death. Industry figures quietly suggesting something darker happened. Powerful names hovering around the story. And a toxicology report that came back faster than expected. Put it all together, and it doesn't feel like a simple loss anymore. It feels like a mystery, a layered situation with missing answers. And one thing is clear, the internet isn't done searching for the truth.